Welcome back to another episode of Full Beans, and on today's episode we have Newey to new pastures. Hulkenberg kicks Haas to the curb,
and new F1 race winner, Lando the Streamer Norris.
Welcome back, and before we start today's episode, we just want to make sure to remind you to like, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends and family and dogs and whoever
And maybe
else.
if you don't like us, send it to people you don't like.
Oh, there you go.
Torture them with our videos.
Yeah, so today's episode, we're going to start off hot.
Lots this week, so we got
an action-packed full of stuff to talk about.
lots of news today.
And one that kind of hits.
Speaking about news,
Yeah.
Newey to leave Red Bull at the end of the year.
Huge news.
Big news.
Big
news.
news. That's crazy. Newey now going to leave Red Bull by the end of the season, like David just said. And it's gonna hurt them, of course, right?
Is the dynasty over?
We don't know. I mean, we don't know if he's going to be gone for a while. Let's give his actual response that he gave the world was why he left Red Bull. And he's leaving Red Bull because, and I quote, he feels a little bit tired.
Yes, tired.
So,
I mean,
a little burnt out.
it's supposedly he just wants to take a break.
He wants to take
Do we
a
know
break.
do we think that's true?
I don't know.
I don't know. I've been hearing other rumblings that there's fractures in the family, but
they've been asking other drivers, Hamilton, if he would like to work with Newey and what were the chances of him going to Ferrari, and there's been a little grim after that he gives that the response. So we'll see what he comes up with, but I think this one kind of hits home to us because he's a fellow. Well, you're an engineer. I'm still not working.
No, I'm not.
But
don't listen to him.
But I'm pretty sure that work environment has to be hectic every single day.
F1.
You have to perform at the highest level every single. You cannot miss, or you're gonna be in the gutter.
Yeah, he's been there since 2006, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time with the team. I think pretty much the whole team's life as Red Bull, he's been there.
Yeah.
And he's an important figure because how many other engineers do we know the name of?
And almost
Behind
none.
the scenes engineers, not like race engineers. None. Barely any.
Yeah.
At least like household name. He's a very household name if you're into F1. Everyone knows who he is, what he does for the team.
Yeah.
And a big loss for Red Bull.
He's been in the F1 world for quite a while, like since the 90s.
Yeah.
He's won multiple championships. He's designed multiple championship cars as far back as the 90s. Something that I did my little research on him is that
once.
Yeah, so
For once coming to you with a little bit of
factual stuff.
We'll see.
I forgot what team it was, but he actually got fired as what's it called, the chief whatever the shit they're called.
I thought you were educated. I thought you came with educated facts.
I am. He got fired from his role as a car designer. I don't know what the official name is, but he got
We should know.
Well, whoever fired Adrian Newey now's bit him in the ass. Look at him now, right?
Looking a little dumb.
Yeah, so huge news. Who knows where he'll go next? Supposedly he wants to just relax. But
we'll see if he relaxes.
Yeah,
I don't know. Well, I mean, he has been at the top of the game for a while now. So we'll see what he does. I mean, it's tiring, right? Like, I think it's better to leave while you're still the best.
On a high?
Yeah, on a high, rather than seeing the team slowly decline.
Yeah.
Seeing your car's not working, seeing your design's not doing good.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does. We'll see if Red Bull can respond. Can they continue this dynasty that they're building? Additionally, what are they going to do this season when at some point they got to cut him out of the loop?
Yeah.
For next year's design.
For next year's.
So that's going to be interesting too. What are they going to do? Like, how would he feel?
Could you just imagine if like you were saying, they have to cut him out of design eventually, right? Because
he's gonna show up to the door with his little his little badge, locked out.
He's like, I built this place from the ground up,
exactly,
and I can't even get back inside the door.
Yeah, they're gonna have his little box, the cardboard box with his family photos and things. Right
you
there.
think F1 would be that brutal that they would do that to him?
I don't know, but we'll
That'd
see.
be brutal. But one thing is that they were saying that he went to Ferrari. Imagine this guy now. He goes to Ferrari. Now the mastermind behind all this, Fred, coming in, dude. What's so likable about this guy and so convincing that he's able to persuade Hamilton and then maybe get Newey back on there?
That'll be quite a resurgence of a team like
yeah.
that. He would be looking good, bringing all these talents to Ferrari.
So make sure you stay tuned with us so we can bring you all the latest news and action pack on this continued saga of what's going to happen with Newey, or if anything.
Someone else switching teams.
Yep. The Hulkster.
Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg. Kicking Haas to the curb by
Leaving
signing
them.
with Kick/Audi. What do you think?
So, yeah. I mean, I think...
He goes from one bottom dweller to another bottom dweller.
I think it's a more... Well... I think
current bottom.
I think he's looking besides that, right? I think he's looking more towards the future because he signed a multi-year contract, so he's not just going to be there 1 year.
Yeah.
And I think he's looking over that Sauber horrible season that they're having, and he's looking more towards the future with Audi and maybe resurgence.
2026 then.
2026,
he's looking for that Audi 2026.
I think this would be the perfect time.
You, having been a former Audi employee, what do you think?
I can't. I signed an NDA. Cannot share any secrets
NDA.
of what's going on. So don't want to put myself in a big lawsuit.
Freaking wheel scrubber, washing the car, and this guy thinks he knows anything.
Hey, but I see the design, so I gotta see what. Yeah, so maybe he's looking at. I think right now is next year is the perfect time to move because he'll get familiar with the team, and by 2026, hopefully they have a car to compete, and he'll get there. Yeah. And Hulkenberg has performed this season, so
kind of crazy that he kind of got kicked out of F1, booted from F1, and now he's back and he's been here to stay.
Yeah, it's crazy how that happens to like multiple drivers, right? They get booted out, and sometimes that booted out is what they needed for their careers to do a little bit better.
It's kind of crazy with all the talent that we see coming up that these old guys can stick around. You know, these older guys can stick around. I mean, Alonso, for goodness sake, dude, he's still in he's still super entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want him to leave. You don't want him to retire yet. So, I don't know. It's interesting to see these old guys coming back and sticking around and staying relevant. Staying
relevant. So, hopefully he does better. What's it called? One thing that they haven't confirmed is who's going to stay, whether it's going to be Bottas and Joe or...
For Kick.
Yeah. Or it's going to be both of them out, and maybe they put a new driver in there.
Interesting. It would be interesting to see them pull up a rookie and have Hulkenberg mentor him, and maybe they could have a good team of like a veteran and a rookie on that new team.
That's got to be the smart decision to do, right? To get, someone who's going to perform.
I mean, Joe's still relatively young.
He is, yeah.
He's not been in the series too long, but maybe he's the one they keep and Bottas leaves.
Bottas is literally now, I feel like he's not even a driver no more. He's more of an influencer with his what's it called? His his commercial. Did you see his commercial he had with Uber and all that stuff? He's just enjoying life.
Speaking about Bottas, we should mention today is a new month.
Oh, it is.
Normally,
you're right.
New month means new calendar reveal. But today, unfortunately, we're a man down. We're a man down.
We're a bean down.
Frankie had personal business to attend to.
So we gave him the day off.
Yeah, he got the day off. He got the day off.
I know you wanted to see Frankie this week, but you're going to have to wait till next week. Next week to see Frankie.
To see Bottas's new butt picture.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too bad that we don't get canceled on YouTube or anything. Yeah. But
anyways, moving on to the race.
Moving on to the race.
Well, to the races.
It was a sprint weekend.
Sprint weekend.
The sprint was so we're in Miami. First race of the US here in the States this year. And we're in sprint weekend. What's it called? What did you think of the sprint? There was obviously a big name there.
Sprint, Danny qualifies fourth, his best by far, best qualification of the year.
Finally, man, he needed something, dude, because it's been a rough start of the season, dude.
It's been bad for his card, his
confidence, his
V-carb, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so
the team finished good, finished fourth.
Yeah, he was
able the sprint, able to hold on.
Yeah, he held off a Ferrari, so I mean, pretty impressive there.
That was an impressive, the way he held off. He held him off.
Yeah, exactly.
It was an impressive drive. Obviously, not over a full race distance, but I mean, he got the job done. Finished fourth. Max pole. Max won.
Yeah. Leclerc second, and then Checo third.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Other than that, what I'm going to mention, and we'll be talking about it a little later, is Magnussen picking up two 10-second penalties.
Yeah, and he was doing it he's a team player now that I watch him more, because Hulkenberg was in front of him, right? And Hamilton,
and
obviously.
He even came out later and was like, something along the lines of like, I had to play the game.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was in the wrong. Like it was my fault, but I had to play the game.
Yeah. So, and it worked.
Worked.
Haas got points now. Haas are looking good as far in the points. They're not the bottom half with 0 points, so they're looking good.
So I'll get back to Magnussen a little later because he was a naughty boy all weekend. All weekend, naughty boy. Getting to the race day, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
It's a bigger holiday here than in Mexico, so.
It is. Tell us what Cinco de Mayo stands for, David, as far as maybe people are confused.
In English, the translation is Cinco de Drinko.
Yep.
If you didn't know.
The historical importance of this date is for the Battle of Puebla. That's all I know. So
I was gonna say, I'm surprised you know that much.
I'm not. I was gonna say something, but whatever.
Anyways, Cinco de Mayo. More of the same. Max on pole.
Exciting start of the race. Checo almost came in like a bowling ball.
He almost a couple cars.
He did.
He missed. No, there was no that actually happened.
Yeah.
Kept him in the race. Checo, not a great race.
No, it was bad. Wasn't a good race for
Red Bull.
It
wasn't a good race for Red Bull. Wasn't a great race for Checo. I think kind of fell back in the order.
He got a little unlucky of the safety car because he pitted, right? And then I think the VAC came, the VSC.
A little dyslexic here at Full Beans.
Yeah. I was ELD, so I don't know if I ever passed. Like they just stopped putting me in that program, so whatever. But
anyways,
yeah, that one came out because Verstappen knocked out that little pole. He had an incident.
He had an incident where he takes care of a cone.
Yeah.
And even Hamilton, I think Hamilton came onto the radio and was like, "I don't know where the chicane is now. I can't see it."
That's crazy.
Like it's so funny and I get it, right? It's a reference. Hinchcliffe, who is the guest commentator on the F1 feed
Hinchcliffe,
for the American races, right here. Hinchcliffe, our man, another Full Beans favorite here.
Yeah.
He was saying that it is an uphill climb slightly to that chicane,
so they can't really see.
And that cone does kind of help. So funny thing that he took out the cone, which ultimately not only screwed over Checo but lost him. No, I lied. That only brought out the virtual.
Yeah, the virtual.
That only brought out the virtual. But the safety car came soon after.
Yeah, the safety car came after. Incident between Magnussen and
I think it was the Magnussen Sargent.
Yeah.
Unfortunate for Sargent. Looked decent.
He looked okay.
Better than maybe it was the home Grand Prix that was getting him
a little
boost. I don't know how many times they mentioned it, but he grew up 18 miles away from track. I heard it. I don't know how many times, but
well, you're gonna hear it one more time. You grew up 18 miles away from
the track. Unfortunate for Sargent. Magnussen, as we said earlier, was a naughty boy, taking him out. I mean, pretty cut and dry. They penalized him immediately with a 10-second.
Yeah.
Magnussen now sitting at, I believe, 10 penalty points, which is 2 away from a 1-race suspension.
Two away?
2 penalty points away from and he picked up 3 or 4 this weekend.
Oh man.
Penalty points. I don't know how the penalty points work. Something we should look into. I think I've seen one racer get a from my memory, that recent memory, that's been suspended for a race for penalty points. And
then after you get renewed or some shit.
Yeah, so it's I think it's a points within a calendar year.
Oh, okay.
From the first, infraction.
Yeah. To
the last infraction that causes, or a year, right? So if you get it. If today someone picked up the first penalty point, a year from now, they would have to keep less than 12 penalty points to not be suspended a race.
Oh, okay.
And then after, if they keep it under that, they get renewed from a year.
It's the same thing like in at a job.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, if you're late, you get a point.
Yeah. No call, no show.
There's 3 points or whatever. It gives you, and you get fired.
So Magnussen, naughty boy, all weekend.
You have to go to HR.
Magnussen, funny, he finished last outside of the DNF that he caused. And it was funny because Albon came in 2-3 laps before the race ended. You would think Albon's going to finish last. And Magnussen still finished last.
Let's go, Magnussen, dude. He didn't finish dead last.
He's like, I got to take him out so that he's not dead last.
Yeah.
Sargent, like I said, Sargent, unfortunate. Home race, bad result.
That sucks. I really thought maybe he could pull. I don't know about points, but maybe he would gonna pull out like a mid, top close towards the points finish. But
yeah,
unfortunately, gets unlucky and gets hit from behind. So
I think Hamilton had a decent race for what his car looked to be performing at, what level.
I mean, compared to him to Russell, he had a better race than Russell did.
Yeah, the car looked super squirrely.
Yeah.
It seemed that all weekend, he just couldn't find the car underneath him. And even watching the race, I mean, Checo held him off, but it looked like he could pass. He could have taken Checo.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hamilton had a pretty good race. It looked like it was highly skilled race, I think.
Yeah.
He was showing his experience and his racecraft.
One race car driver was not having a good day and was just having a frustrating day, and you can kind of see it. The Chile, Carlos Sainz, driving hard behind that McLaren, trying to pass him, do whatever he can, and he could not do it. At the end, he had I don't know if that was a little naughty. He just pulled up on the side of him.
It looked, I think it looked a little revenge.
Yeah.
It looked a little, he wanted an eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Because Piastri, we'll get to the McLarens in a second because we gotta dedicate a good little portion of time to McLaren, so we'll get there in a second. But Piastri pulls a move on him, a defensive move. He doesn't get penalized. They call it a racing incident, and it looked like Carlos got fed up with that.
Yeah.
It was funny. I don't know if you heard over the transmission. He was like, "Tell McLaren that he won't get the penalty if he gives you the point." He's like, "Tell McLaren to tell Piastri." Give me the position so he doesn't he's being his friend, like hey dude, I'm trying to save you the penalty. Yeah. Just give me the position.
He's giving demands out
right? Which I get it, right? He's like, look, you don't get a penalty, and it would have been less damaging to Piastri's race if he does give it to him, if you were to receive a penalty for that.
Yeah, because if you got a penalty, it would have been 5-second penalty?
10 seconds, I think.
10 seconds?
I think it's a 10-second.
Okay. Because then if he gave the position to Carlos, who knows?
You could race him again and pass him next lap.
Pass him exactly. So.
So that was funny. And then I honestly thought they were gonna penalize him. So I was surprised when they didn't give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking the same thing before Carlos said it. I was like, oh, Piastri should just give him that position because of that exact reason.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the same thing. Carlos comes on the radio and says, and I was like, that's kind of funny. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But they didn't end up penalizing him, which was good. I mean, for his race, they gambled and they won on that gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carlos coming in and he Piastri.
He did.
Which
it didn't look that bad, to be honest. And then I didn't know I guess it damaged the front wing a lot, so they had to pit freaking Oscar, and then that ruined his race, right?
ruined his race. And should we get to the McLarens, I guess?
No, talk about the penalty first. That now we find out for the Chile.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Continuing with Chile man Carlos.
Carlitos.
Race post-race penalty. Now he finished, I think 5 second. He finished. Now he's moved behind Checo. I think he beats Hamilton by like a tenth. We can't see it. Like we said, Frankie is not here to move the boards today.
Yeah, so.
So anyways, bad weekend for Carlos. Finally getting beaten by Leclerc a couple races in a row.
Yeah.
Leclerc outperforming. Did Ferrari make the right choice?
I think it's too early to tell, but it does
it's
look
still
like,
too close of a race.
Yeah, I think Leclerc is starting to now find his groove a
Leclerc,
little better.
Boring race, to be honest.
Leclerc?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
He had no... He was
there with Verstappen.
He was there with Verstappen for a while,
know?
but I'm saying like he never pulled a move. Like he
Yeah.
had a good solid race where it's like
He could never attack.
Everything is around him. Everything's happening around him. And he was just chilling in third. Like second and then third. He was just chilling, but like pretty calm race for Leclerc, composed, which is sometimes he loses his cool.
Yeah, or they make bad decisions.
They make a bad decision.
You know, that's something we haven't noticed. I mean, something that hasn't happened so far this season.
Talk about it again.
What, Ferrari?
Who are you going to talk about?
No, about Ferrari having a
good. Well, not making decision. Horrible decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
And who's that thanks to?
Oh, the man. Maybe Fred is now making. Fred was the key to make Ferrari come back and be the team that's sort of supposed to. But besides that, let's move on now to the team.
The new and improved McLaren race team.
Yeah.
F1 team.
Under the leadership of the only Mr. Zach Brown. This win cannot have been brought to you by... I'm just kidding. Norris, I guess he did a good job. He had
Norris
a good race.
Did a good job. I mean, helped by the safety car, but...
Yeah.
Well, great. I mean, started fifth, finished first. Helped by the safety car, but I mean, he held it. He held his composure.
Yeah. He looked dominant in that first position. The first.
Even after the safety car, though, he broke away from Max.
Yeah, he did, dude.
They get bunched up at the safety car, and he broke away. He beat him by 7.6 seconds, which is a bigger gap than some of the races that Checo has had to Max.
That's true.
So solid. Both McLarens looking fast this weekend.
The only threat that that Norris had to Verstappen, was when in the restart where Verstappen was right next to him.
Yeah.
Besides that, Verstappen was nowhere to be found. McLaren brought upgrades.
Supposedly, I think specifically performance upgrades.
Yeah.
And it showed because they were fast this weekend.
They were fast.
Piastri
got half of the upgrades.
Piastri was looking like he might have might have been on the podium until the
incident.
The incident with Carlos. So both McLarens looking very fast.
Even when Piastri got that second place in the beginning, he looked fast. Like Leclerc couldn't catch him, and he was staying there with Verstappen.
Yeah, he was holding him he was holding on to Verstappen's tails.
Mm-hmm.
Very fast. McLaren. I think this is McLaren's second win in 12 years.
Oh damn.
It's been a long time. Last race, of course, was Danny's win in Imola.
Monza.
McLaren or Monza?
Yeah.
Monza, Italy.
Yeah.
Italian race.
Italy, yeah. The boot.
The 1-2. They got a 1-2. Mm-hmm. Norris that day playing the team game, they're holding team orders, held team orders.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's really shown that he's here for this team. I think Zach Brown is really setting up a team where he wants to be that Norris wants to be at.
Yeah, Zach Brown is trying to build that next dominant team. You know, next Ferrari, the next Red Bull. At least I don't know, but at least he's really trying to build a team, and I think Zach Brown is a guy who he believes in the youth, which I think is really paying to him dividends now.
Both Norris and Piastri. I'm pretty sure
young, dude.
That's the youngest team on the grid.
Yeah.
If we combine ages, I'm pretty sure they're the youngest team on the age by I think quite a
lot.
A margin. I can't even
think of another team who has a pairing that young.
Ocon and Gasly are two younger drivers compared to like Alonso and Hamilton. But other than that, I don't think there's a younger pairing on the grid.
Yeah, Zach Brown is a man of he'll take risk. He'll take risk, and it's paying off.
It's looking like it could finally be paying off.
Yeah, so
great win for them. Norris finally getting his win after the Sochi. I think it was just a lack of experience
on the Sochi one.
The Sochi loss.
Yeah.
He gambled, stayed on the slicks in wet conditions, lost the race. And Hamilton, who was second, who I think he had the race in the bag. He started on pole. I think he had the race in the bag, and then I think Hamilton's maturity and experience really showed that race where
Sochi.
Where he said, I'm going to go put on inters or wets, whatever he put on. And Norris had no chance at that point.
Yeah, so great win for Norris now. I mean, if you have a win, you finally get this win, and after so long, you get so close. You're a good driver. You're attracting these top teams to get you. So you got the skills to perform,
I think 8 second-place finishes. So,
8 second-place finishes. Yeah. So now for him to win, to finally get the validation of him to be that he knows what he has all those sacrifices before to finally get to pay off and has that race win. I thought it was cool how he thanked his mom and dad.
Yeah.
It's always good to see,
I like when he was talking to his race engineer, he's like, we did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, solid performance from McLaren. I mean, I think it would have been a really overall solid performance just for the Piastri Carlos incident.
Yeah.
McLaren looked the best team of the weekend.
They did.
Verstappen, took the sprint home, but they looked the team of the race at least. McLaren.
But I think that's everything else besides that. Anything else that attracted you in Miami? A race you want to go visit soon?
Race that we do want to go. See if we can head out there. A
lot of celebrities there, but
they could have two more
big celebrities.
Big celebrities here at Full Beans.
So, yeah, pretty sure we'll check that race out. Maybe next year, maybe, I don't know when, maybe never. So
your team scoring points.
My team. Oh, that is big news.
Your team. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. Your team scoring a point.
One point. Alpine finally scoring a point. Hopefully we score a lot more.
Now only 2 teams with 0 points.
Yep. Hopefully Jeremy Clarkson is proud out there. He is, I think that's his home team or some shit like that.
I don't know, part owner. Who knows.
Oh, one thing I forgot. I hate to go back this, but Newey.
I'm sorry. Too late. And on that bombshell, I'm just kidding.
Jeremy Clarkson used to have the same class with Adrian Newey, and it was said that Jeremy said that Adrian Newey used to copy Jeremy Clarkson's physics homework. So if Jeremy would have continued his studies in physics, he could have been the masterclass car designer in F1. And I guess, but no, he scrapped that. Now he became the car entertainment on that
bombshell. The man himself, Full Beans,
signing out.